There's something going on in Chinatown. A pattern of incidents I don't yet understand.
That's my brother. He's been missing for 12 years.
He was working with us.
So, you're going to solve this?
We are.
We?
We work together.
You're dating that detective?
I'm not dating anyone.
Just friends, but it's complicated. That's the best kind of relationship.
The main thing was coming from New Zealand and coming from the Maori culture community. Most of my life, I've sort of felt that we've always been on the sidelines or like in the background, never really part of the conversation, and I thought it was just us. And then, as I traveled the world, I realized there's so many more people who feel like this. And also, like as I was growing up, trying to get into the entertainment industry, there were never any roles for me. I was always in the background. You're going to speak to this soon.
Yeah.
You've been through the same thing as me.
Yeah.
And so reading the script and the book and everything, it just it was I related very deeply.
In one day, and I'm not like the fastest book reader, so that was like a miracle. But yeah, I absolutely related to it, and I think that's the brilliance of Charlie Yu, right? I mean, the book was based on his own kind of Asian American experience of constantly feeling like in the background. I was actually in the background of some shows, and some shows don't even want me in the background. That's how background I was. But I think that's what's great about it. It's also a universal story. Whether you're Asian American, whether you're from New Zealand, or if you ever just felt like you were invisible at times, whether in your high school or you just felt like an underdog, this is a story for you. And I fully, like, absolutely immersed myself in the role because from day one, I felt like I knew Willis. This is like a journey that I've been through. Yeah, it was great to kind of, it's a pretty serious role at some point, but at the same time, there's a lot of comedy, a lot of action, and this guy is so funny. There are scenes that I didn't expect to go in to have a comedic day today, but this guy just has great ideas, a lot of improvising, a lot of lines he'll throw at us, that was really fun, and he kept it alive,
Other things I'll throw at you too, remember?
Yeah, like actual things, objects he'll throw at me.
Yeah, like, do better!
Yeah, and then that makes you really present, when you gotta be alert when the director throws stuff at you.
You've got good reactions though, because you've been training Kung Fu.
Yeah, I think that was him training me.
Yeah. We didn't have HR on the set.
Yeah.
It was very hard. It was a very hard thing to take everything from the book, which is so rich and so layered and so complex, and to put that on the screen. When people read a book, they picture other people in their heads of the main character, it might be a cousin or a brother or a sister or something, and they've got an image. When you make something, you put it on the screen, you've got to be, you start getting very specific. You make decisions for the audience. So you go, this is Willis Wu, and now this is Willis Wu forevermore. And it's and so it's a really hard thing to then take all of those other things where Charlie's describing the changes of the world and how they intersect. But a lot of it was just planning, a lot of planning, and also a lot of confusion. Like I think on set, a lot of the time, I'd come up to Charlie and go, "What is happening in this part of the story? I don't know. Is this the show, or is this the show within the show? What is
right?" And it took a lot. Like it took every department and you guys helming it, because there's lighting changes from show to show. There's camera movement changes. There's hair and makeup changes. Our hair and makeup differs from episode to episode. So I think hopefully each of those small things, the details, informs the audience what part of the show they're supposed to know, which part of the show they're in. But at the end of the day, I think for me, Willis, going through this, he's not supposed to know everything. So keeping it grounded, just like in the relationships with his parents, with his best friend, and he's as confused in a way as some of us, which is the point, right? Like he's finding out what is going on, and it's a mystery.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery, and you're not. Things like a lot of studios and people who maybe aren't Hulu would want everything explained right up front, and we don't do that. We allow a bit of mystery so you find out in the next episodes, and we like it like that.
Yeah, we give the audience a lot of credit. These are smart audience members. We want you guys to have your own interpretation and come up with like, oh my God, that's why the camera moved that way. Before it was 0, okay? And now And now, not still bad. But I trained like 3-4 months in Wing Chun. The funny part is in the script it says Willis, and he says it in the show. He's trained Kung Fu all his life, but he's not that good. So that kind of took the pressure off the hook. But I still gotta know the language of Kung Fu. So that was like me hitting the one dummy. I want to make sure that looks correct. And then, you know, gotta give it up for the fight coordinator, stunt guys and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty cool, like when I do a leg sweep and then they do 2 backflips. Like, that's gonna make me look pretty awesome.
In all honesty, I did not know that you hadn't trained before.
Never. Yeah, I did 3-4 months.
I thought that you'd been doing
there was some,
all your life.
Yeah, there was some sick kicks, right?
Like,
yeah. It was like a good spinning kick that I knew I can do in training. I'm like, Taika, we got to put this in, man.
Serious,
This is
absolutely serious. I had no idea.
Pretty badass. It was cool because like having Ronnie there on set, like he's the comedic relief. So that took the pressure off. So now I can really just tell the story. And a lot of it was this guy's direction, you know, like the scene with my dad who's played by Tai Mao, he's a legend, right? I remember like you gave such a simple note that made the whole scene come alive because I think actors, you always want to engage and play the action or whatnot. But he's like, no, you actually don't want to be here. You want to leave and go away from your dad. So I think that's a very human thing, right? Not oftentimes we want to get into an argument. So I think keeping it grounded and keeping it real, and a lot of it, I feel like was informed by my own life and cultural experiences. I feel like Asians, with our parents, I never say I love you to them, they never say I love you, but there's deep love there, but the communication sometimes might be off. So that, I think, sometimes holding it in leads to a lot of bigger and more truthful emotional moments.
The show is really meaningful for me. It actually came about in a time when I needed to, you know, to sort of re-embrace my creative side, and you know, been feeling a little out of touch with filmmaking, and I came back into it with this show, and I'm so proud of it. And yeah, it was it's actually my favorite thing I've done in the last few years.
Wow. Yeah, it was such a joy to get to work with this guy. And I think the show has so much creative element, but at the same time has themes that are really meaningful to me personally and to the culture and everything. But at the end of the day, I think what's great about the book and the show, it's just entertaining, you know. And then if you get a deeper message from it, if you rewatch it a couple times, you might discover something more. So I think it's just a show that everybody can enjoy.
You get a deeper message from it, you're thinking too much.